There will be a new face leading the Minnesota Vikings on the sidelines this fall. Kevin O'Connell is getting ready for his first ever season as a head coach in the NFL. He sat down with our Jason DeRusha this morning to talk about how he's adjusting to Minnesota and where he hopes to take this team.
Kevin, great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
How's it been in Minnesota? You've been here about a month.
It's been awesome. Obviously, on the football side of things, getting our staff together, meeting a lot of the players, starting to build our process and our culture here to get ready for the off-season program to start. It's been one thing, but just really starting to learn about Minnesota, the great people, the great Vikings fans, the passion that they have. Every time I leave the facility, I run into another passionate Vikings fan who's excited about what we're doing and fired up to see it all come together.
Is passionate code for something, or does it really mean passionate?
It means passion, absolutely, absolutely.
It's okay for people to come up to you and say hi?
Because I've been in places where that was not the case, and I can tell you that knowing how much our fans care and the support they have for our team, I know our players will feel it, our coaches feel it already, so now we just got to keep on giving them things to be excited about.
Being in this place, I have to ask about Zadarius Smith, because he talked about what it did for him to walk through this museum, to feel the Vikings history. What's your place in this museum going to be someday?
Well, all I know is that you can spend a whole day here just taking it all in, the great history of the organization. I think about even the great Vikings that I've been able to meet already, the Randall McDaniel, John Randall, Coach Bud Grant.
Who was the first that reached out to you?
Well, we had some of the Vikings legends at my initial press conference, so they were able to meet my family, my parents. Getting to do that day one provided such a great experience for all of us. But then to walk the halls here and really see what it means to when you become a Minnesota Viking now, and I think this is what Zadarius was so excited about. You kind of become part of this great history, and you have a standard to live up to and to play up to. Both as an individual player and as a team. We certainly do as coaches. It's not something we take lightly at all, and it's something that's really special to have kind of on campus here at our facility, and as a good reminder of where we've come from and where we're hopefully headed. Only
the 10th coach in franchise history. What do you think the Kevin O'Connell exhibit's going to look like here someday?
Well, I hope it's got a lot of successful moments for our players. I hope it's much more about them, much more about our offense and defense and special teams playing the right kind of football, playing hard, us giving them any advantage we can schematically, but hopefully a lot of wins go along with that.
Fans want to see a Super Bowl trophy in there.
Well, it's the hardest trophy, I think, in sports to go get. We just had an opportunity to go do that at my previous team. I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what I believe the blueprint to go do that is. I get to work every day with a great general manager that we align in so many ways. So now it's just about going to work every single day. Some days you feel like there's not enough time in the day to get things done, but that's why we get right back at it the next day. And can't wait to get these players in, get our off-season program going. There's something about getting your players back in the building that really, even in the off-seasons for an NFL coach, it's like the energy level takes a whole nother step forward, and we're really looking forward to that.
Ultimately, it is about the players, right? Coaching matters for sure, but the players have to get the job done. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
How much did you agonize, work through whether or not this was going to be the Kirk Cousins team continuing into this season?
Yeah, I think, the one thing from afar over the past few years is just whether crossover tape or just having coached Kirk in the past, I always wanted to keep a watchful eye over him and kind of see the way, he was playing, how he was adapting to a couple different offensive systems that he's had here during his time with the Vikings. And I always thought he's played consistent football. He's played, winning football for the Minnesota Vikings. And really the way I look at him now is I think he's ready to take the next step and play his best football of his career. He's been consistent. He's been durable. He's been out there for his team so much over the last, really his whole career. It's been remarkable to see how durable he can be. And now it's just about putting it all together, taking all those experiences, and kind of being the guy leading us from out in front, taking us to where we want to go.
Can you take a veteran and change their style and put them into a scheme that's more like what you want to run?
I think so. I think, we pride ourselves on having a quarterback-friendly system, a friendly system for the offensive line that also really highlights, your skill players. We have the ability to line up every which way we want to really be in an attack mode against the defense. We can play with tempo. We can use cadence and personnel variations. We really have all the tools to apply pressure to the defense, and really what that does is that allows the quarterback to feel like he's applying pressure to the defense and not always, kind of being on, on your heels, allowing the defense to be in attack mode versus us. That's our offensive philosophy. I think it plays huge to allow a group of 11 in the huddle for you on offense to have a lot of confidence. And then that's where we come in as coaches, is whether it's technique, fundamentals, how we read plays, how the quarterback, the rhythm and timing in which they operate, all of those things, it's coaching. And Kirk, the one thing about him, he's incredibly coachable. You can use a lot of his experience to help relate to him on what it may look like to try something new or try something a little bit different. And I think he's open to it, not only fundamentally, but other aspects of the position that I think can just help him make marginal gains and take his game to the next level.
Did you consider moving on without Kirk Cousins?
I think every single year you do whatever you think is in the best interest of the football team. And I think the one thing I've learned in this league is it's hard to play when you don't have a quarterback. It's hard to be competitive week in and week out. When the other 52 guys on the roster don't look at the quarterback position and think, we've got a guy to go win with. And I think we have that guy here. I think we've got a guy that, talking to a lot of our players, talking to a lot of our coaches, independent of one another, they've all said, we think Kirk's played at a high level and can be even better with what we want to do offensively. His teammates are excited that he's going to be back in the huddle with them, obviously. And now it's about collectively as a group, it not being so much about one individual player here and there, but what we start to look like as a unit offensively, and then how we contribute to playing complementary football with the other two phases in the kicking game and defensively to be the best possible Minnesota Vikings team that we can be.
Let's talk about sort of the youth movement we have in the upper levels of the Minnesota Vikings right now. To fans, you and the general manager both seem young. To the players, maybe you guys are.
Yeah, we don't seem young to them. I know that.
I don't know. 36 and 41, you seem pretty ancient to some of these 22, 23-year-olds out there.
You really find out about it when you start talking about music or movies, TV shows, and you bring up things that you liked as a kid, or hey, do you guys remember this? And they look at you. And they look at you like you're crazy, and I'm thinking to myself, that wasn't that long ago. My goodness. I can only imagine how Bob feels.
Right. But no one understands his references.
Exactly. I certainly don't. I can tell you that much. But you're exactly right. I definitely don't feel, I don't feel, old or young when I'm around the players. I just feel like I'm around the guys, and I think Kwesi feels the same way. And we're just trying to build something here where, him and I work side by side every day. It's been an unbelievable experience so far.
Does it matter, you think? It feels significant from the outside to have two younger leaders. Do you think it matters?
I just think it's who are those people? What are the leadership qualities? How do they relate? How do they connect? How do they lead? How do they provide opportunities, for those that they're trying to lead, for players, front office, coaches alike to reach their highest and true potential? I mean, that's really what being in these roles are all about. And it's not always, you could be demanding while also being supportive. You can be compassionate while, also finding time to, hold people accountable to what the standard is. And I think we're going to talk a lot about our process, our way, our team. Use that word "our" because that's really what it's all about. It's the players, it's the coaches, it's that front office, it's our whole building. I've made the message to everybody that I've run into in our building that they're a part of what we do. They're a part of the product we put on the field. And I want everybody to feel proud of that, but also invested in it so that we get everybody's best on a daily basis.
This is sort of a leadership question, but to you, does culture lead to winning, or does winning lead to a good culture?
I think the most important thing to any culture is really two things, right? I think you have to worry on a daily basis about how everyone treats one another in the building. I think when people enjoy being around one another, that sets the stage for the hard work, the dealing with adversity, the different situations you may run into. And then I really do think the second part of that is truly being driven by the process. When you're a process over results type of outfit, type of operation, that allows you to continue to always focus on what could I have done better instead of we didn't win this game because of this, or this, or the finger pointing starts. Instead, the process-driven people that I've been around, the great leaders that I've been around, they look inward first. They look very much at themselves and how they could be better, and it might be a marginal gain that could be very, very small to others, but to that individual person, it could make or break their ability to have success individually, which ultimately will lead to the team having success. So I think as a group, if we enjoy being around each other, we embrace every moment we can to kind of grow together, collaborate, all those things that we've talked about, and then you trust your process that we're working very hard to build day in and day out so that when the results come our way, hopefully they all go our way. They inevitably won't, and we'll be able to rely on our process and the tweaks that we can make to that to eventually reach our goals.
To get you through those.
Exactly.
Yeah, there will be those moments. Quick family question.
Yeah.
You have wife, 3 kids, right?
Yep, Caden, Quinn, and Colton.
How old are the kids?
7, 5, and 3. Yeah, boy, girl, boy. They're all incredibly different, but they're amazing. I miss them so much. They're going to be out here very shortly. We'll get our whole family here, and they can't wait to be here in Minnesota. And
find a house yet?
We have, yeah, we have. We're very, very excited about that, and we made sure we had a big old yard for the kids to run around. They're used to living out west. You don't get as much space,
right.
So I can tell you, between the beautiful scenery around here and a little bit more space, I know we're all very excited to make Minnesota our home.
You were at the Wild game last week. How involved do you plan to be in the community?
As involved as I can be with my time, both supporting the other sports teams in town, both professional and collegiate. I've already talked to Coach Fleck at Minnesota. Just as much as we can be involved in the community, we will be. I know my family is incredibly excited to be involved,
cool.
In different aspects of the community and really have some, kind of a philanthropic view of trying to have an impact on the community. I know our players do that in a great way already, which is something I'm really proud of, and want our veteran guys to really teach our young players about from day one. Because I think that's huge. That's where you get that connected feel with the fan base, where not only are they passionate about what we're doing from a standpoint of winning and losing, but we have a real impact, on the entire state of Minnesota.
All right, I have a couple rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
I am.
Just quick answers, quick questions. Minneapolis or St. Paul?
Oof.
It's a trick question.
Minnesota.
Don't answer that. It's both. Yes, that's a trick question. Favorite player growing up?
Ooh, this is actually funny because Kwesi and I know it's a quick answer, but Kwesi and I share a similar player. Randall Cunningham, former Viking, former Philadelphia Eagle, was my all-time favorite growing up.
Best Super Bowl halftime show, and why is it Prince?
Prince for sure.
That's right. Yes, correct. I'm just trying to help out here.
I didn't get a chance to see this year's. I was in the locker room trying to fix some problems. So
this year's was pretty good.
This
year's
was
pretty good.
There's
Yeah,
no
you
doubt.
should check it out. Do you have a hidden or special talent that people don't know about?
Oh, man. Let's see. I would like to say cleaning the kitchen, but my wife would probably critique that.
Straight
That doesn't
up lie.
count.
She'd say no, not
She
true.
would say, I don't do much other than
I know
what
you dabbled
currently
in
do.
sideline reporting a little bit.
And there was a reason why I dabbled, and I'm not in your chair
Yeah, don't
now.
say morning news anchor.
I was
I
not
don't
allowed
need
to say
that.
my media career, that's for sure.
Favorite fast food?
Ooh, probably Chick-fil-A.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
About 4:55, 5 a.m.
Oh, you're early.
I worked for a head coach previously who got up a lot earlier than that, if you could believe that. So I'm actually sleeping in these days, being at 5 a.m.
Pizza or burgers?
Burger.
Have you been to a great restaurant here in the Twin Cities yet?
I feel like everywhere I've gone have been fantastic. We hosted a couple of our free agents in town at a couple spots, just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good food scene here.
Great
for
food
sure.
scene.
Do you have a guilty pleasure, junk food wise?
I would say Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A
would definitely be one of them. And
how about musical taste? Do you have
a little bit of everything? Country, rap, hip hop. Prince. Kwesi and I have talked a lot about our music tastes are much more aligned than maybe we thought when we worked together back in San Francisco. So maybe we'll not only hit the Minnesota sports scene together, but a couple concerts in mind.
Be fun. See you guys out at First Avenue or something.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Very cool. Well, it's great to talk to you and know that all of us everyone in Minnesota is excited about you. You're undefeated right now, so we love you.
It's a great time of year right now. It's a great time of year for sure. I couldn't be more excited to be here, and I really do mean it. It's been awesome getting to connect with the fans outside of the building, and look forward to continuing to do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Really good. Perfect. Some people wanted me to quiz you on city names. I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm not doing that.
For continuing coverage of the Minnesota Vikings and player updates, keep watching CBS News Minnesota.